multiple choice sample, this would be pretty close to what you'd expect for our actual exam. Difference is the problems will probably be a little bit easier, and so we always like to have the trickier ones coming in, and it's particularly true of the second practice that you have that was given to you on Friday. Okay, first one, we told that line M is parallel to line N, and that's kind of shown here with the arrows, and we want to find the measure of angle X. Here's kind of a trick to kind of look at it. So I see X is formed by this line and this line. Then I want to take my parallel, mark it. Okay, so I'm going to work with this transversal because it crossed over both those. I'm not going to use the 123, so that's how I'm eliminating it. Now if I take the 62, I can slide it over here. That's 62. So I know that X plus 62 has to add up to 180. That's how we got 118. Okay, next one. I'm going to select all polygons below which have at least one parallel side and a pair of congruent sides. Well, an isosceles triangle does not have parallel sides, so I'm going to cross off all the ones that don't have parallels. That one doesn't. A pentagon does not have parallels. Okay, now I need a pair of congruent sides. So trapezoid has a pair of parallel sides, rectangle and parallelogram. Certainly parallelogram is right in the word. Those have parallel sides. Now I need congruence. Well, I know a rectangle, this side equals this side, and a parallelogram, those sides are equal, and then these sides are equal. Trapezoid, it could be any kind of a shape as long as these two are parallel, but does not mean these two. If it was isosceles trapezoid, I'd have it, so I can cross him out. So I'm left with B and D. Okay, when you're doing this kind of a problem, start marking up your figure. I mean, that's the most important thing, because you're going to use this for problems 4 through 6. There was no problem 3 on this. There will be a problem 3 on the actual exam, though. So if I start filling in my information, FL is congruent to TR, so I'm going to mark those two sides. Angle F is congruent to angle T, so I'll mark this angle, mark this angle. Those are your givens. That's important because you're going to be doing that in the free response part where you have to fill in your givens too. And then I'm trying to prove that LY is congruent to RY. That would go in the last box right here. Well, I'm going to fill in other information that I do know. Look for vertical angles and reflexive. This angle is equal to this angle. So for step number 4, it asks, right here, what should be the reason in step number 4? Well, vertical angles are congruent. I just got to find my correct one. Well, I need to make sure that I've got Y in the middle. So if I look at this one, those are not Y. These are not Y's. So I'm looking at that one. So I have angle LYF is congruent to angle RYT. So they matched up. Then my reason, if I look at my triangle, I have angle, angle, side. Well, angle, angle, side this direction. It's not angle, side, angle. If it's angle, side, angle, I'd have to have this side here marked, or I have to have this angle. They have to be all connected. So this is an angle, angle, side. You have to watch out for that one. And then our reason for our final step when we go to get our, after we have a congruence, is we have congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So you can see it this way, congruent triangles, therefore congruent parts. You may also see it as CPCTC, which I allow you, but I'll usually will write this one for multiple choice. Okay, number 7 was one of our harder ones. Well, first thing again you want to do is mark the things that are given. AB, DE, mark those. BC is congruent to EF. Mark those. So I need one more piece of information to be able to show the congruence. Well, one option is to get AC and DF. That will give me side, side, side. So that's what A was. AC and BC, this is on the same triangle. This tells me this triangle is isosceles, so I don't know anything about this one. Angle A and angle D. Nope, that would give me a side-side angle, so that does not work. B and E, okay, that one's between it. So that one also works, that's side angle side. Angle C and angle F, that doesn't work, so again, they give me side-side angle. Okay, we want to solve for this triangle right here using our tricks. Remember, it's SOHCAHTOA. So I'm given, this is hypotenuse, this is opposite, go straight from the angle, this is adjacent. That's opposite for 40 degrees. If I use 50 degrees, it's going to change. Okay, so I'm given, if I want to go directly, I have the adjacent side and hypotenuse. So adjacent hypotenuse, I go cosine, and it's got to be adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of 40 equals x over 60. That's why it was B. On number 9, you want to make sure that you actually answer the question. Okay, so this side equals this side. That tells me this angle is equal to this angle. That's the isosceles triangle theorem. So that tells me 2x plus 20 equals 4x minus 30. When I solve for x, I get x equals 25. But watch out, because that's one of the solutions. They didn't ask for what x was, they asked for angle A. Now I got to figure out what angle A is. Well, I'm going to plug 25 into these equations. I get 50 plus 20. That makes this angle here 70. This angle here is 70. That's 140. The missing angle is 40 degrees. Okay, on this next one, for triangle JET, we have a right triangle. I want a relationship between angle J and angle T. Well, I know the sum of the angles in a triangle equals 180. And I already have 90, so angle J and angle T have to add up to 90. That's called complementary. On our exponential growth problem, or decay, we have 2,500 customers. The number is decreasing by 12% each hour. So we start with 100%, minus 12% gives us 88%. So my multiplier is 0.88. I started with 2,500 times 0.88 raised to the fourth, because I want to find it in 4 hours. Okay, 12 was our harder one. This one had the error. This should be OX, not CX. So now I'm going to try to fill in my information again. So I do know that these two angles right here are congruent because of vertical angles. So I have an angle. I need one more angle to be able to use angle. Well, I've got to make sure they are in different triangles. So angle B is congruent to angle T. That one worked. Angle P and angle T does not work because I need to have one to match in each triangle. This was telling me this triangle was isosceles. I would have no idea about this triangle at all. Now, this is where you have to be careful on these two guys. BT is to BX. They do match up. So if I look at BT, PT, and BX, so I do that with a squiggle because they're not congruent, but I'm looking at being similar. OP and OX, OP and OX. If I mark those, this is side, side, angle. See that? Side, side, angle. That does not work. So B cannot be there. For D, I've got BO. So I'm going to kind of mark this one with like an X, matching up to TO. Okay, those do correspond. And then OP and OX, OP and OX. Okay, now if I look at these guys, that's side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. We can use one of three things. Angle, angle, similarity. Side, 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 similarity. Or side, angle, side, similarity. Those are the three you're looking for. Again, on our triangle right here, I want to